Hello and welcome back to the second episode of Vindication Sports. I'm your host, Jackson Hester, and I just wanted to make a video that was, just a quick little addendum, and this time it really will be quick, I promise, to my power rankings. Yesterday there was a major player that I'll discuss later who is deciding to not come to Orlando for whatever reason or another. This doesn't really change the whole list too intensely, but I do just want to talk about not only him, but all the players that are really going to be sitting out in Orlando, and just go through kind of from least impactful to the shape of the league, the shape of the way the playoffs and the postseason will turn out, to most impactful. And we'll talk about that guy. I'm sure you guys already know who I'm talking about that's sitting out. But first, I just want to talk about I did briefly touch on the Nets. They pretty much have nobody. A lot of players are sitting out for them. This is just we already know that DeAndre Jordan is not going to play, and then no Dinwiddie. You don't have Kevin Durant or Kyrie Irving. But you also have random role players like Wilson Chandler just deciding, no, not me either. So he's not going to play. The Nets probably won't be able to really do anything. I don't even think they're going to make the postseason. This is the postseason, but the postseason. Anyway, the next player on my list is Tavo Sefolosha for the Rockets. He's actually on a team that I consider to be contending. I've got them pretty high. I think higher than a lot of people. They're the fourth best team in the league in my estimation. But I don't know how great that style of play is going to translate to the postseason. It's obviously very up in the air. They actually got, I believe, Luke Mbamute to replace Tavo Sefolosha. Neither one of those guys is really doing super a whole lot, but they probably will get play time in the games that are before the actual postseason games. Just the four little basically just training season games, just to get the guys back in shape and to get defenses keyed in again, which is always something that is going to have to happen. It happens even after the All-Star break sometimes, where teams look a little rusty, but we all know about how teams played kind of terrible at the beginning of the year and players get into their swings. So yeah, that's why you signed Luke Mbamute, and that's why you had Tavo Sefolosha on your roster. Not really big contributors. They're not going to really ever take over a game or make a big winning push. But yeah, and then you got Willie Cauley-Stein for the Mavs. Briefly, he's kind of been absolutely trash this year. They traded him away from the Warriors after there was a bunch of buzz about him there. Never really worked out. Davis Bertans not playing for the Wizards. The Wizards are even more tanked than they already were. That's really bad. They're not getting John Wall, they're not getting Davis Bertans. They're probably not going to get DeMarcus Cousins. I think that's mostly just a pipe dream. But and he's also a free agent, which I think a lot of teams are going to be looking for the Latvian sniper. He's deadly. He's really deadly. He's nice with it. And he really fills a modern five position really well, especially off the bench. I know a lot of the time you need a traditional five who can really guard up and seal down the paint and make sure there's going to be no, floater random shots that just win the game. But Davis Bertans is not that guy. He's not going to lock down the floor for you pretty much ever. He's not going to make a game-winning block. I don't think that's really what you've got him for. You really want him to shoot about, he probably should be taking about 7 or 6 or 7 threes a game, and he sinks 3 threes a game, and you're like, all right, Latvian sniper, we're satisfied with that. Whatever, 9 points, 12 points, 15 points. I mean, he's just really is just like a sole 3-point threat. And that's why I think he's got so much value in free agency. A lot of guys can play the traditional center role. That might not be the most impactful or valuable place to be in the modern NBA, but there's a lot of guys that can certainly do it to a level that is acceptable. You can just look at Boston that never signs a center, and they always just get just the most average center they can get in the entire league, and then he gets a big contract, but they don't give it to him. Somebody else will give him a big contract, and they're like, all right, next average center. But Davis Bertans is not an average center. Davis Bertans is actually, in my opinion, a piece. It's something, he's a role player. He's not going to take shots that are not threes, if that makes sense. He knows exactly what his role is, and that makes him a lot more valuable for a team that has stars, players that need a high volume of shots to go off. You think about it. There's so many players in the NBA today that take so many shots, and you really can't be having a center post up for throughout the course of a game. 2 minutes of his on court time is him just like trying to back down opposing centers. I don't think that's super impactful in the modern NBA. We'll just leave that at that. But I think Davis Bertans is a super impactful guy. I think that he's splashing a three in the face of a defender that's not used to being out on the perimeter. Not only is that going to actually score you 3 points, that's going to really mess up the defense of the opposing team, because their center's unable to camp in the paint, because you never know if Davis Bertans is just going to pull it from 30, which is that's valuable. That's got value in itself. The next player I want to talk about is Trevor Ariza. Trevor Ariza is a really, really good role player. I think that's a lot of minutes on the wing for Portland that they're going to be missing out on. Portland's really looking down in the dumps here. I'm not too sure if they're going to be making the postseason, to be honest. They had a horrible showing. It's really going to come down to whether or not Jusuf Nurkic can come back and be a 20 and 20. He needs to be a 20 and 15 guy for them to make the playoffs, in my opinion. He's got to be a top 10 center in the NBA for them to really make enough noise to crack the postseason. They're pretty far behind, if I'm not mistaken, from the Grizzlies. Yeah, they're 3 games back from the Grizzlies. Even the Pelicans have a leg up on them. So I just don't think that's good. I think that maybe the Grizzlies and the Pelicans should slide up in my my ratings above the Trailblazers. And then we talk about one that I think is impactful, but is not really going to change the standings at all. Avery Bradley is not going to play. I just think it's super impactful because he's on a championship team, and he's getting a ton of minutes. If you don't count LeBron as a point guard, the Lakers have a ginormous point guard problem. Rajon Rondo is not the answer there, probably. He might get a championship this year just because of the immense talent that is surrounding him. But that's yet to be seen. I don't think that the Lakers are unchallenged in any way, shape, or form. There's a lot of characters out there that really hurt the Lakers' chances. I think that the Clippers are going to be a really, really kind of impossible team for the Lakers to beat. We're just going to have to see. I think it's going to rely a lot on LeBron and Anthony Davis leading the kind of toughness charge, because the Clippers have consistently called the Lakers soft. So we'll just have to see how all of that pans out, I guess, is the best way to put it. In my opinion, the most impactful player that is sitting out from the postseason, and I hinted at it before, and I'm sure NBA fans that are really up to date with their news and whatnot already know that Victor Oladipo is not going to be playing in the postseason. In my opinion, I think you can just throw the Pacers down there with the Nets and the Wizards now. That's just a completely dead team. They're actually just not going to win a game in the postseason with Miles Turner and Domantas Sabonis. It's just not going to happen. Victor Oladipo is their X factor. Shannon Sharp said it the best when they were playing LeBron in 2018, LeBron's last run with the Cavaliers, or he made the finals, but it went Game 7 with the Pacers. He said the Pacers don't have any venom. Well, I disagree. Victor Oladipo is the venom. Now the Pacers really are just a garden snake, where before they were they were a rattlesnake. You get touched up by that thing, and I don't know. They're a second round team. They've got a great coach in Nate McMillan. They've got all the weapons around their star Victor Oladipo. Is just going to come down to whether or not he could get back into form. And hearing that he's not even going to play is just it's disappointing. I don't want to talk about any reasons why players aren't playing. I don't think it's fair for us to make a judgment on their lives. We're not, in their shoes. And even if I were in their shoes, I'm pretty sure I'm cool if I'm Victor Oladipo and I've got a couple $1,000,000. It's okay. Whatever happens happens. I'm just gonna do what's best for you, what's best for my family especially. So, good for everybody for making whatever choice there was. But I think these are some. Well, I think all the people that I listed today, not being in, basically playing in the bubble, that doesn't make too big of a difference. I obviously did list the players that I thought were going to have an impact, and there's some players that I think are just going to have a future impact in general. And I got a little chance to talk about Davis Bertans and how highly I think about him. And Ariza and Bradley and Oladipo. I mean, all these players are really going to be impactful. The bottom three of Willie Cauley-Stein, Tavos Evolution, Wilson Chandler. It's like, okay. And there's other names there, like all the Nets missing. I mean, the Nets we've known about for a little bit. They're not going to play, but yeah. I just wanted to just do a quick little addendum because it does change my lineup. Not at the top. I don't think the Lakers really lose a super ton by being Avery Bradley-less, because basically we all know the Lakers are just going to go to LeBron point guard ball in the playoffs anyway. But anyway, thank you for watching. This has been Vindication Sports, and I will see you guys next time.